Hey, welcome everyone to episode 2 of Last Word on Football, the podcast that is brand new to this season. We are getting ready for first week of NFL season. So I'm Ryan, and this is
Seth.
All right. So a lot of stuff went down yesterday, which is at our time of recording. It's Sunday. So Saturday we had all kinds of moves, many involving the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. So let's go ahead and start with that. What do you think about Clowney to the Seahawks?
Seattle's defense has been good now for the last 4 or 5 years, solidly since 2013, the 2013 season, something like that. I don't know. I think Clowney's pretty good, but I don't know if it's not like a huge game changer for them. Everybody knew their defense was good already, but
yeah.
So who's their defensive line? They still have Cliff Averill.
Is Averill still? He's still there, right? Yeah.
I think he is.
I think he is. So they have him. I think they have
Bobby Wagner.
Yeah. So he's in the linebacking core. That's great.
Is Bruce Irvin still there?
No, Irvin's been gone for a while. He was with the Raiders for a few years. No, they got an interesting line. I mean, let's kind of look that up real quick so we can know. Seahawks projected defensive starters. Yeah, and I'm over here doing a draft during this. It just started right when we started recording. I somehow got Alvin Kamara with the 6th pick right now. I don't know how he was still available, but cool. Okay, so let's see who they
Too bad
have.
it's not a paid league.
I know. Yeah, it's got 24 rounds, so it's going to be crazy. So it's probably going to take our entirety of our recording. Okay, so it looks like... Oh, no, they have Ziggy Ansah, so they signed him.
From the Lions.
Yeah, they got Poona Ford, who's kind of an undrafted guy who's doing really well. Al Woods? I don't know who that is. So, yeah, Clowney's going to project it right end. And
KJ
then Ziggy at left. Yeah, of course, they got KJ Wright, Bobby Wagner, Shaquem Griffin, awesome, the cool guy, and Shaquille Griffin at corner. So, defense is looking pretty good. Their safeties are kind of, we're not sure about because they don't have
the Legion of Boom anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, do you remember that? Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas.
Those were the good old days.
Richard Sherman.
Man. I loved watching Seattle play during that time. They were my NFC team for the longest while, with Marshawn Lynch down their offense as well.
You remember that Super Bowl when Cam Chancellor hit Demaryius Thomas coming over the middle when they beat him 44-8, 43-8?
That was a Super Bowl.
It was like 2 drives in and just wham! Everybody stopped and they were like, "Hey Peyton, do something."
Do something, help. Yeah. Let's see if I'm up again next. Am I up yet?
It did not start off well for them when they were it was a safety on the opening snap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it the opening snap?
I think it
Shotgun
was the opening
formation.
Snap, right? Yeah, the first you just knew it was gonna
over
be
Manning's
bad.
head.
You just knew it was not going to be good.
We also have a football game on right now. I have no idea who we're watching.
Yeah, it's some kind of college game.
It looks like Division II.
MHC versus AAMU. It's on NFL Network, but we just got some background noise there.
There have been about 28 or 29 penalties committed in this game so far.
Yeah, it's been not pretty. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a good look. It's a good move on both of their ends with Clowney. I don't think it affects either of them too much. I mean, as far as their records go, I don't know. What do you think?
I have Seattle. We did predictions earlier before this. He did the AFC and I did the NFC as far as teams and how they were going to finish at the end of the year. I have Seattle going 10-6. I think that's wheelhouse for them.
And do you think that gave them another win or?
I don't think it gave them another loss.
Yeah, it didn't give them a loss. Can't go wrong there. Yeah, I mean, and I don't think it affects the Texans too much either. I mean, they got a little worse at their pass rush, but they still have J.J. Watt.
What did they get in return?
They got like a 3rd and a 5th round pick. I think did they get an O-lineman or something? I don't know. Nothing really great. But, I mean, it's good for them because, they didn't want to re-sign him. Oh, I'm on the clock. Okay, let's see. I think, Nick Chubb, David Johnson, Joe Mixon. Who should I grab?
I like Chubb.
Yeah, I kind of like Chubb, too. I'm a little worried about now. I mean, Hunt might not even come back with that injury.
I've never been a big Joe Mixon fan either.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys we were talking about when we had our fantasy draft last week, and there's a couple of guys that I just don't mess with.
I don't know. I kind of like David Johnson. I'm going to go with Johnson.
David Johnson and Joe Mixon are two of the guys that I don't mess with them.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
24 rounds in this draft.
For some reason, subconsciously, I'm biased about not wanting them on my team.
Yeah. I don't know. I love David Johnson. I've always been a fan of his. I actually got him at the end of his rookie season in a couple of my leagues too, so that was nice. So speaking of running back news, the other stuff we got a little bit of running back movement yesterday too. The first of which we had LaShawn McCoy getting cut from the Bills.
Who's their starting running back now?
So now it looks like there's some debate here, but their two top guys now are going to be Frank Gore, who's old as dirt, but they have that rookie Devin Singletary, who a lot of people are a little bit high on. TJ Yeldon's going to be in the mix. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not really high on either of them.
Frank Gore, old as dirt. Old reliable, though.
He's still... Kenyon Drake in Miami couldn't beat him out for the starter last year. So he's not, obviously he's not what he used to be, but he's still, performing.
Shady McCoy to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Is he the starter? What do you think? No?
I don't think he starts. I think he has a role. Damian Williams, I'm not very high on him. I stayed away from him in my fantasy drafts anyway. Now I'm especially hating that backfield. I still think Williams starts, but I think Shady's definitely going to have a role. He's reunited with Andy Reid, who he played with as his head coach with the Eagles. He's still got a little left in the tank, but I don't know. I don't think he starts.
He's not 2012 Shady.
No.
When he had that ridiculous year, he was scoring like 25-plus points in fantasy every single week.
Yeah. He didn't look good last year. He was not good. I don't even think he was rosterable by the end of the season.
I think he had like 500 yards and 3 touchdowns or something last year.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He seemed to get banged up like every game, too, so it's tough. How is this paused? Did somebody pause the draft? How did they? Yeah, they just paused the draft for a minute. Oh, they're trying to. I guess the second pick's not here yet, so they're trying to give him time. Hey, man, you ain't here. You ain't here. Everybody out there drafting, show up to your draft time.
Auto draft.
Yeah, you auto draft.
So inconsiderate.
Yeah. So then we got another move. So basically, the Chiefs made room for McCoy by trading Carlos Hyde over to the Texans.
Well, they definitely needed that. They needed somebody in the backfield now that Lamar Miller's out.
Yeah, I know they had Duke Johnson, and it sucks for him. A lot of people thought that Duke Johnson might take over that starting role. I don't think the Texans ever wanted that. They got him to be their pass-catching back. So Duke Johnson, now he's kind of back to that role.
Running back by committee in Texas, in Houston this year, I guess.
Yeah, now I don't like that backfield at all because Carlos Hyde's not the best pass catcher. Duke Johnson's not the best runner, so they're basically just going to be split. You're going to have Hyde on the field first and second downs. Duke Johnson comes in on
What was
third.
Carlos's Hyde? What was his best year running the football like for production-wise?
I think 2016. So he got injured in, I think, week 13.
Has he ever been a top 5 in fantasy running back? I don't think so.
He hasn't been top 5. He's been like a top 10 that year. I think he was, until he went down because he was short of, 1,000 yards but it was week 13, so he definitely would have gotten there. Let's check it out. I love my old trusty fantasy pros let you break down how that is. So let's check. I believe it was 2016 with Hyde. It was, I'm pretty sure. So let's go check it out. And we're going to go to week 13. See where Hyde was at. Carlos Hyde. He's a solid back. He's not like an elite back, but gets the job done. All right, where's our boy? He's still not up there. He's RB 17. Oh no, 10 games. So he must have been hurt before then. He appeared in 10 games as of week 13 of that season, but he was averaging a good 12 points per game, which would have put him maybe around RB 13 or so. 12. So, he has potential. Actually, last year, let's look at his because he started off as the Browns starter up until week 6. That's when he was traded over to the Jaguars, and then he never really had a chance.
Talk about
there.
an offensive powerhouse just imploding. Remember that one year they had Blake Bortles was supposed to be really good. I think this was 2016 or
Right.
17.
Right.
They had Blake Bortles, Allen Robinson, Allen Hurns, and they just got Julius Thomas from the Broncos.
Yeah.
And they had T.J. Yeldon in their backfield. That was supposed to be a really good offensive unit, and it just
Yeah.
imploded.
Yeah. It didn't work.
It didn't
Blake
work.
Bortles, man. It's because of Bortles. I mean, he's just not that great. Sorry.
They were really high on him, and that didn't pan out for anybody.
No. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, last year, Carlos Hyde was the RB12 as of week 6. So, he has potential as a starter. I don't know. I mean, I actually did grab him in a couple leagues where, I dropped my final pick of the draft because, that's just dart throws anyway. So, he could be worth it if you can grab him, like, for almost nothing. He might make an impact. Okay, what are other moves? And Duke Johnson now, I don't like him much in fantasy at all.
I've never liked Duke Johnson.
Yeah.
He's another guy that I don't like messing around with. On a side note, this game, the losing team just scored a touchdown with 3 seconds left on the game clock.
Oh my God, they just won the game.
I would really like to see it if they took the kickoff and ran it to the house.
I think
as
there
time
was a
expires.
pass. Oh, they better replay that. Yeah, oh well. Yeah, it was some kind of pass. That guy is tiny. So, our last move that doesn't really have much to do with fantasy was the Dolphins trading Laramie Tunsil and Kenny Stills over to the Texans for 2 first-round picks and a second.
They didn't like the Clowney trade, so they're like, "Hey, we'll give you Kenny Stills with it too,
Yeah,
as long
yeah.
as we don't get Clowney."
Yeah. Well, I think they wanted Clowney. Clowney wouldn't go there. He told them straight up, if you trade me there. So they probably had something in place, and they wanted Tunsil, and they're like, hey, man, what can we get for Tunsil? And then Miami's just there like 2 first-round picks. They didn't even think that they would do it. Because 2 firsts for an offensive lineman? That's a lot.
Dude, you remember he's the guy that had the gas mask on too the night of his draft?
Yep.
Got
So he
caught
dropped.
with the bong.
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, no one knew why he kept falling so far because he was going to be like a top 5 pick if I remember right.
I was listening to 97.3 The Fan the other day, and they were talking about that when the Clowney trade was on the table.
Yeah.
Before they had squashed that, and they were talking about there was a few players on the Dolphins team that were like, if you trade Tunsil, we're gonna riot or something like that. They were like, don't trade him.
I'm still waiting
And now they
that.
traded him anyway. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, for 2 firsts, that's hard to deny. I mean,
you're the Dolphins. You're not the Patriots. You can't say, hey, don't trade this guy because we'll riot.
Yeah,
Everybody
I know, right?
everybody on the Dolphins is replaceable.
Yeah, and remember last time with our pod, I predicted the Dolphins would be the worst team in the NFL. Now they just look even worse now. I mean, they got draft picks, but those aren't going to help them this year.
No.
We'll get into our predictions
Let's be honest,
later,
with
but
the way
it's
that
not
their
good.
team is ran, it probably isn't going to help them next year or the year after either.
Oh, shoot. Oh, Amari Cooper
Do
or
it.
Keenan Allen?
Hey, they're lateraling the ball. Oh, he's down.
What do you guys think? Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen? Who should I grab?
Keenan Allen's got a better quarterback.
I'm going to go with Keenan, yeah. I don't like Amari Cooper's consistency. Yeah, all right. So
Dak
far I
Prescott's-
have Alvin Kamara, David Johnson, and Keenan Allen in a
Dak-
12-man league.
Dak Prescott's volatile.
Yeah. Wow, George Kittle was right there too. So
Now, we talked about this last week, regression,
regression.
or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
when we filmed the last
I loved George Kittle last year. I don't like him this year. I think he'll still do well, but I mean, for
Garoppolo.
where he's going,
Everyone's really high on Garoppolo. I would not be shocked if he is not even in the top 15 for quarterbacks.
Yep. So my predictions with the Dolphins, I still think they'll be the worst teams, but I also have some other who could make the cut, including the Redskins, Cardinals, and Bengals.
Dude, I think, oh man, the Redskins and the Cardinals are both going to be bad.
Yeah.
They're going to be terrible.
They're bull, yeah. They have like no good players, and
What's
the Redskins had Josh Doxson was their best receiver, and he wasn't good. They cut him. Now they have like Paul Richardson.
What's the over-under for the Redskins? 4-12? I think if they win 5 games, they should be like, this was a successful year.
Yeah.
This was a great year for us in Washington.
Yeah, they just have nothing. Their O-line is bad. Same with the Cardinals. O-line is bad. It's not going to be pretty for them. It's not.
I'm going to crack open my second beer.
Oops. Drafting now.
Had one on deck.
How did I...
Sucking
I
down
left
the
my
old
draft room
MGD
on
64s.
accident. MGDs, man. I used to drink
Cold
those
filter.
back in the day.
I always like the way these cans look because I feel like it's something my grandfather would drink. I feel like it's very footballish.
Yeah.
This and Budweiser.
So you want to get into our record predictions? So we're going to talk about our record predictions for each team, and then we're going to revisit these and see who's pretty close. Maybe we could even do like quarter, season, half, end of season, just see where we're at.
I was thinking that, halfway through the season, 8 weeks in, and then 16.
Yeah.
Something like that. We can do every 3 or 4 weeks, too, if you want.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
All right. How about we switch off by divisions?
So you did all AFC teams, and I did all NFC teams.
Yeah.
Which is kind of convenient because I mostly live in the NFC because I'm a Packers fan.
Yeah.
So I pay attention to the NFC more than the AFC.
And, of course, I'm opposite as a Raider fan.
So do you want to start with the AFC first? What you got?
All right. So AFC North, I've got... The Steelers were my toughest one. I kind of went back and forth on a few. I'm going to say they go 11-5. I think they don't lose too much. I think they actually improve compared to last year as well. Oh, I'm on the clock. Oh, let me choose someone real quick. Okay. Oh, no, I'm not on the clock. What? Oh, no, I didn't choose Amari Cooper. Never mind. Wait, what? Oh, okay, never mind. Anyway, yeah, I think 11-5 is pretty good. They have a pretty easy schedule. Their division's tough, but I mean they play like the AFC East, which aside from the Patriots, they're not very tough.
Those are 3 very winnable games for them.
Yeah, right there. I think they win all the rest of them. Buffalo, Jets, Dolphins. They're going to win all those games. Some ones that are kind of iffy. You have like LA Chargers. Chargers beat them last year. I think they come back and win this year, especially since it's week 6 when Melvin Gordon's probably not going to be there. Some tough one. I think they beat the Seahawks. I think that they're going to split the Browns, so they lose once, they win once. How about Ravens? I'm putting the Ravens at 9-7. What do you think?
9-7 on the Ravens.
Yeah.
I don't think their defense is going to be as good as last year. I think it's possible.
Yeah.
People are really high on Lamar Jackson. I don't
not.
know. I'm not high on Lamar Jackson.
No. I think they're going to figure him out because he doesn't look that good as a passer still, even in preseason.
Did we talk about this 2 weeks ago? About him? About not being high on him? I don't like run-first quarterbacks.
I like to watch them, but they need to learn how to pass too. They got to be dual threats. Like Deshaun Watson, he can run it, but the dude's a great passer too, which is why I think he's great.
Deshaun Watson could put up 350 yards in a week if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Every single week. I don't think Lamar Jackson could pass for 350 yards a week.
No, I don't think so.
I think he maybe does it twice this year.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at their schedule. I don't know who they're playing.
The only reason, again, is because of that division that they play there, that they can get some wins. I mean, they also, this whole division, so they play the AFC East, which, like I mentioned, you have those 3 teams, and then NFC West, which the NFC West does have the Seahawks and the Rams, but they also have the Cardinals, who are going to be bad. They also have the 49ers, who I'm not very high on this year either. I don't think they're going to do great.
No.
So that's why I think they can still go 9-7. And you also have the Bengals in there who are not looking good. Now the Browns are probably going to be my most debatable one. I think the Browns go 11-5 also. So I'm still debating who's going to win that division. I still kind of think that the Browns are going to get the tiebreaker, but I think they go 11-5.
I think 11-5 is like their ceiling. I think they could easily go 9-7 or 10-6 though. I think it's within 2 games there, up or down.
Yeah, I think some ones that can go either way is let's see here.
I think fans in Cleveland would be super stoked if they go 10-6.
Seattle, I gave them a win at home against Seattle. That one could go either way. I gave them a win at Denver. That can go either way, I think. And then they're going to split with Pittsburgh. I don't know, maybe. So those are kind of the iffy ones there.
I like how you actually wrote down every single game, though. I actually went on my phone, and I was just looking, and then I made my predictions from my phone. Yeah. So I didn't write down their actual schedules. Yeah. I just wrote down what the outcome was going to be.
Okay. Yeah. I felt like especially referring back, since teams play each other, I'm like, what do I think? And for the most part, it pretty much added up. I didn't change my mind. There was a couple, after looking at, one team's schedule and the other, and like, oh, man, they've got a tough slate here. if a team lost like maybe 2 or 3 in a row, like, oh, they got to get their stuff together. They're going to want it a little bit more. I think as far as the Bengals, I'm still giving them 5-11, which they could easily go worse. They could easily go better. The wins I give them against Arizona, I think they can beat Jacksonville. I think they'll beat the Jets. I think they beat Miami. And then I think they're going to who the heck is this? I can't tell who that last game is with my messy writing. Maybe it's Baltimore? No.
So we did the AFC North. So let's do the NFC North. I predicted this.
All right.
I didn't write down the schedule.
Right.
But I'm assuming it's pretty close.
Yeah.
This one I actually went through and looked at because the Packers being in this division. I think they're going to go 9-7 this year.
And the Packers go 9-7?
Yeah. They play the Bears this week, and I have them going 0-1. But I also said they would go 0-1 last year, and they were down 20 points in the third quarter after halftime. And
yeah, I think the
we all
Bears
remember
are
how
going
that
to get
turned
that
out.
game. I think the Bears regress, but I do think they win week 1 for sure.
I have Chicago going 11-5 and winning the division.
11-5 that's still pretty good on their end.
The Lions I have at 6-10.
Yeah.
And I have the Vikings at 8-8. I should probably pull up my.
Wow.
I pull up some of these schedules really quick.
Okay, I have the Vikings winning that division. I think they're going to win like 11 games. I just feel like last year was kind of a down year with them. Kirk Cousins getting into it. From what they did now, I forget who their coordinator is, but I'm hearing I think it's Gary Kubiak, isn't it? So, because he likes to do a lot of like play action and boots, and that's where Kirk Cousins excels. Oh, I'm on the clock. All right, who am I going to get?
I don't know. For some reason, he's another one of those guys I just don't mess with. I've never, ever used the words excel and Kirk Cousins in the same sentence together.
I don't like Kirk Cousins. I think he's overrated, but he can get the job done. Oh, I'm going to get T.Y. Hilton.
So this is the Vikings schedule. Week 1, they got Atlanta at home.
Right.
I took Atlanta on that game. I don't think Atlanta plays in a dome. I don't think that's going to matter at all.
I think Vikings
they
are
play
going to win that game.
in Green Bay. I got them going 0-2, and then they play your Raiders. I have them going 1-2.
You think they're going to lose to the Raiders?
No, I think they're going to beat the Raiders.
Yeah, I think that
I have them
even
starting off 0-2 to the Falcons and Packers.
Yeah, it's at home. I think they're going to win that game.
They're going to lose to the Bears in Week 4. They're going to be 1-3. Then they played the Giants. They're going to win that one. Giants are going to be terrible this year. They're going to lose to the Eagles. They're going to beat the Lions. And they got Washington. Cupcake.
Yeah, that's an easy game.
I feel like this year I'm just going to spend a lot of time ripping on the Redskins and the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be not good this year.
Then they play the Chiefs. Loss. Cowboys. Loss. Broncos. Win. Seahawks. Lose. Lions. Win. Chargers. Lose. Packers. They always, dude, I don't know why. Ever since I've been young, the Vikings always beat the Packers when they play in Minnesota. They always do. And then they play the Bears, and they're going to lose that one.
All right.
I don't know if it actually equals out to 8-8 and how I predicted it, but it's going to be somewhere close to 8-8.
Right on.
Maybe 9-7. Hell, maybe even 10-6.
All right.
You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, that concludes your division. Okay, next I have the AFC East.
So who did you have winning the AFC North? The Browns?
AFC North? Yeah, I think the Browns are going to win it. I got a good feeling about them. I know they're being super, super hyped, but I'm kind of with that hype. And I think it's going to go well for them. Patriots are going to win. Come on. There's no question the Patriots are going to win that division. Like, come on.
I don't think anybody would have taken you seriously if you said somebody else.
Yeah. No, I would have got laughed at. I mean, I got them 12-4.
Is anybody else in that division going to win over 7 games?
No. I think the Jets will be the second best, so I have the Jets at 6-10.
And they're 6 games behind? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got a tough division because they play the NFC East where, the Cowboys and the Eagles should be pretty good. Even, the Giants, they'll still be competitive. So as far as the Patriots, I put their loss, one of their interesting losses, because it always happens. They're going to lose to Miami week 2.
They always do.
They always lose one game to Miami, and they always start a little slow. Though this year I've got them starting a little faster than usual just because their schedule, they've got over there against the Jets, Buffalo, Redskins, Giants. I think they're going to win all those games. They're going to win week 1 against Pittsburgh. So There's that.
Those are always good games when the Patriots play the Steelers.
Yeah, I have them losing to the Jets. I have them losing to Cleveland. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Cleveland's going to beat them.
Is it in Cleveland or in Foxborough?
No, it's at home. I don't know why. I just think they're gonna that game they're gonna win.
Bold.
Prediction. That's bold. Okay, let's see here. I'm on the clock now. Calvin Ridley, OJ Howard. Should I go with? It's too early to draft a tight end.
What about a wide receiver? What's your team look like right now?
Okay, so far I have Hilton, Keenan Allen, Aaron Jones, David Johnson, Alvin Kamara. If
good.
there's a quarterback at the flex, I think maybe I should take a quarterback now.
Deshaun.
Let's see who we got.
I've taken Deshaun Watson in both my leagues this year.
Russell Wilson. I think somebody already drafted Watson.
Russell Wilson wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it. I don't like anything around this ADP right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and take Russell Wilson, and now I'll draft another quarterback really late. So Dolphins 2-14. I got the Dolphins, so they win that game at the Patriots, and then they're not going to win another game until they play the Bills, which will be their 10th game of the season, and then they lose out. Sorry, Dolphins. I mean, it's just
Dolphins, Redskins, and Cardinals are going to be the butt of many jokes this year.
Yeah, the Bills are tough for me because I feel like they could do a lot better than I'm predicting, but they probably won't. They're 5-11. Their wins are going to be at New York Giants. You know what's interesting? The Bills stay in New York at MetLife. Is it still MetLife? No. What's that New York stadium? So they play the Jets week 1, and then they stay there and they play the Giants week 2. So I have them winning against the Giants, and then they win at Cincinnati. Miami, they're going to beat. Washington, they're going to beat. And the Jets, they beat. And that's it for them. Yep. So, yeah, Patriots 12-4, I think is realistic. They're going to win that
what
one.
is it with these teams in the AFC East? I started really paying attention to football. Was it 2001? It was the year that the Patriots beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. Right. It was 2001 when Vinatieri knocked down that field goal. It was Tom Brady's first year.
Right.
Right?
Tom Brady.
Or did he took over that year, didn't he?
Yeah, against the Rams, right?
Bledsoe got hurt.
Yep. That was the year.
None of those three teams in that division beside the Patriots have done anything since 2001.
Yeah, the Jets when they had
Rex Ryan?
No, even before that, they had that one quarterback who messed up his shoulder.
Chad Pennington,
yeah.
The red-haired guy.
Yeah, they had him, and they'd make the playoffs sometimes as the wild card. And then they had because they had Curtis Martin, remember him?
Yeah, that guy rushed for a lot of yards.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's in the Hall of Fame now, isn't he?
Good question. I'm not sure about that. He should be.
Thomas Jones.
They
had him too. Lavernius Cole, Santana
Moss, yeah. They were fun. I used to like watching them play. I mean,
Revis Island.
Oh, yeah. Good times. Okay, who's next for you? Who do you got?
All right, I will follow suit. Who'd you do? The East?
So
I guess I'll do the NFC East. I got the Eagles winning that division.
Yeah.
I have the Eagles at 11-5, but I think that could possibly change based on how the Cowboys are, because I think if the Cowboys have Ezekiel Elliott all year, which I don't think he'll be there all year.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys go 11-5.
Right.
I have them at 9-7, but
right.
I think if Zeke plays the whole year, he's worth about 2 wins.
Yeah.
And I think one of those 2 wins for sure is against the Eagles, probably
right.
at home against the Eagles.
Right.
So we'll see how that division turns up. That division I'm kind of uncertain about. Just about those 2 teams, though. The Redskins I have at 4-12, and I think that might even be generous.
Yeah.
And the Giants are 5-11.
Yeah, the Giants are tough for me because what was their record last year?
I think like 5-11 or 6-10.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to get any better than that. They only got worse. I mean,
they don't have Odell.
Yeah, now without Odell, I mean they got Saquon. It's going to be the Saquon Barkley show. Now, do you think Daniel Jones takes over the starting job at some point over Eli Manning?
I mean, if they get to a point in the season, which they will,
yeah,
where they're like, yeah, we're out of the playoffs, we're going to let this guy play.
Right.
They might let Eli start the games and then just bring him in.
Well, they already screwed up his Iron Man thing when they benched him for 1 game last season. Or no, 2 seasons ago. They benched him against the Raiders, which I thought was awesome because we played Geno Smith that week. And
dude, that guy's been a bum his entire career.
Yeah.
Is he still in the league?
He just got cut. No. The Seahawks cut and then re-signed him, I guess. Probably for less money or something.
Were they just like, hey, we're going to cut him to incentivize him to... Hopefully he practices harder. No,
Yeah.
we're going to re-sign him.
I mean, he's a solid backup, I guess.
Promise
but
you.
not
The
a
guy's still a
starter.
bum.
Yeah, he's a bum for a starter. That whole class was terrible. EJ Manuel
Gino
was
Smith.
in that draft class.
Where did he play? West Virginia
I don't know.
or Virginia? Played at one of the Virginia
nothing about
schools.
college. Where am I at? Is it my pick? No, it's not my pick. Oh, yeah, I chose Russell Wilson. I'm up in 2. Okay, so next up, we're going to go. Now, I want to save my division for last.
The AFC
Let's
West.
do the AFC South. Okay.
Dude, I've been really wanting to talk about this one because it's super exciting now that Andrew Luck's gone. It changed the whole
Yeah.
dynamic of this division overnight.
You know, and it makes the Colts really tough to predict. But you know what's funny is, I mean, I still have them doing pretty good this season. I think it cost them a few wins, like 2 wins, which was, but I think they still are going 10-6. I'm going
Really?
with them 10-6. Ooh, let me see. Okay, hold on. Darius Geis or Philip Lindsay? Who am I drafting right now?
Lindsay.
Oh, Chris Carson is still here? Never mind, I'm taking Chris Carson. How this points must be, I must be really off about these points because it's like the 7th round and Chris Carson was still there. So
I can't believe Alvin Kamara dropped to 6. There's got to be some special scoring involved that you don't know
be
about.
something that hates running backs, but I don't care. I'm drafting all the running backs anyway. Okay, anyway, back to it now. So the ones I'm not sure, I still have them beating the Chargers week 1, which was tough.
Is that in Indianapolis?
It's in LA, and I think because
I
got
disagree.
No Melvin Gordon, no Derwin James. I think the Colts defense is still going to be better than the Chargers defense, and then the offense may not be quite as good, but the defense will make up. But it's a tough. To me, that can go either way. So the Colts could easily go 9-7 or worse. But I've got them some. I mean, their schedule's not terrible. I have them beating the Falcons. That one could go either way. I have them. I have them with some losses that could go either way. I have them losing to Pittsburgh. I have them losing to New Orleans. That's probably a loss. I have them winning at in Carolina plays them. So, but 10-6, I think is still realistic for them. I think it can happen. Texans are going to win that division, I think, though. Their losses, they're going to go 11-5. They're going to lose week 1, though. They're going to lose to New Orleans week 1. They're going to split Indianapolis. They'll lose when they play there. For some weird reason, I think they're going to lose at home to Jacksonville week 9. And then another loss will be to New England. They can't really hang.
It's always tough picking division rival games because anything can happen. There's no guarantees.
Usually we're going to split. You know, it happens a lot. So that's that. I think the Jaguars, despite Nick Foles, they're going 4-12. I think they go 4-12. They just have, you know, playing the AFC West is going to be tough for them. You know, having to play the Chiefs,
underachieved
Chargers.
just so hard last year after going to the AFC Championship game and then just falling flat on their face.
Their defense
with
just
pretty much
kinda-
the same defense too.
Yeah, that's what was trippy about it. And I don't think they're going to rebound still. I just still don't really see them rebounding from
And if
that.
Leonard Fournette fights somebody else,
Yeah.
he's going to be
He's
out.
probably going to pull his hamstring and then come back and fight someone in the stands next week, you know?
Ron Artest style, Meta World Peace.
Yeah. Now, the toughest one in this division for me is Tennessee because I feel like they're a decent team. They're not bad, but after breaking down their schedule, I still have them going 5-11.
Yeah, I was going to say not according to what you have.
Yeah, I
them
still have
5-11.
them going 5-11. So, I mean, it could improve. You know, they have some losses. Like, I think they lose week 1 in Cleveland. Maybe they win. I don't think so. I think they lose to Atlanta. They lose to the Chargers. That one could go either way. Tampa Bay. Maybe they beat Tampa Bay. But other than that, I don't think they're going to win anything else. So, we'll see.
Is that all for you? Or what are we
That's
moving
it.
on to? We're doing the NFC South.
Yep.
NFC South. My preseason prediction is that the Saints are going to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC. So I got the Saints going 12-4.
Okay.
I think the Saints are going to be really good again
Yeah.
this year.
I like that. I think
No reason to think that they're going to regress that much.
No, they're
at all.
not.
They're going to be one of those teams that's right in it at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I don't think anybody in their division is going to knock them off.
They're a complete team, and they've got a decent amount of depth. So I think they're.
I have the Falcons going 10-6. That's going to be their competition, I guess, in the division. But Panthers, I have them going in even 8-8.
8-8.
And then the Bucks, I was kind of torn on this one a little bit. I got them going 6-10, but they could probably go 4-12 real easily.
Yeah, the Bucks are tough for me. I actually want to look at their schedule because I'm very intrigued by the Bucks this year with because they have so much talent on offense in terms of Mike Evans, and they've got Bruce Arians, Chris Godwin.
That's the thing too. I think I kind of gave them 1 or 2 wins just because they have Bruce Arians.
Arians. Yeah, it's tough because I think 6-10 is probably pretty realistic in terms of that. Let's see. Let me see what I want. What the heck? I thought I got their schedule up. Where'd it go? Okay, that's not what I wanted. Oh, it went home. Oh, because I didn't put their schedule. Oh, it's right here anyway. Okay, so I mean they played
49ers.
49ers.
I think they're going to win that game.
I think they can
1-0.
Win one. Buccaneers. Yeah, they'll
1-1.
lose. Giants. You think they beat the Giants?
Yeah, the Giants are going to be so bad this year.
Yeah, they beat the Giants. They lose to the Rams. They lose to the Saints.
They're going to split with the Panthers.
Split the Panthers. You think they beat the Titans? I had them because I did the Titans. Tampa Bay. I had Tampa Bay winning that game, so they couldn't go either way.
That game to me is a coin flip. I don't know though.
They're going to lose to the Seahawks. They're going to beat the Cardinals, I think.
Yes. They're going to lose to the Saints. I think they're going to get swept by the Saints this year.
Texans, they'll lose. Yeah, I mean, they have a tough schedule.
They can beat the Jaguars. Tough. The Lions are not going to be very good this year.
No, the Lions, I'm not sold on Patricia at all. I think 6-10, yeah, is good. I mean, if they're lucky, they'll finish 8-8. I don't think they will, though. I think the best case might be 7-9 even.
It's weird though too because I feel like worst case scenario they could go 4-12.
They could.
That 12 loss season is looming.
Yeah.
I don't really know too much about their defense. I don't know about how good their defense is. I guess we won't really find out until they start playing.
Their defense was terrible last year, and I don't think it got any better. So that's going to be their Achilles heel. So yeah, okay. What are the other teams there? Who else you got?
The Panthers, the Falcons, and the Saints are in that division. I had the Panthers at 8-8, and the Falcons at 10-6.
Yeah, the Panthers. I think they may have peaked. Like that year they went to the Super Bowl, they peaked. People started to figure them out. They haven't really evolved much since then. That offense is starting to become a little bit dated. So I think 8-8 is good. And yeah, I mean the Falcons. They're a good team.
I think one of their biggest mistakes was letting Kelvin Benjamin go.
From the Panthers?
I don't know if they traded him.
I think they ended up just straight trading him to the
He was a
Bills.
free agent. But yeah, he went to the Bills, didn't do anything.
But he was just lazy, man. I mean, I liked him. I liked him when he was a rookie.
He had a lot of potential.
Guys, he never really developed. I mean, he was a good target for Newton because he's so erratic. That's why I'm not sure how I feel now. The Panthers went complete opposite. They went from having 2 big wide receivers to now 2 small, fast wide receivers. And I'm not sure that plays to Cam Newton's strengths.
Greg Olsen too. Greg Olsen, yeah, I mean he's kind of at the tail end of his career
now.
But guy could have a breakout year. He's a good tight end.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe that bounce back.
And I can agree with the Falcons. I think were only as bad as they were last year because their whole defense went down like week 2 or something. I think in one game, like 3 or 4 of their starters got injured for the year. So they could definitely be a threat this year as well.
The offense is good. Their offense is going to carry them to.
Oh yeah. I
would be shocked if they lost.
Yeah.
If they lost more than 8 games.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the AFC West. Chiefs are going to win that division. I think they do. 12-4 is my prediction for them. I have their losses at Houston. I think they split the Chargers. Although, for some reason, I think that the home team loses both times. I don't know why. They're going to have 1 loss at Denver. They're going to... And Oakland's going to split as well. They're going to split Oakland. So they're 4 losses, mostly in division. The only non-division they lose is Houston.
You have them beating New England, I see.
Yeah, I think they beat New England. Does that match up? Did I say the Patriots? Let's see. Who do I have?
That's the
Yeah, lost to KC, yeah. So I think that's going to be one of them. Okay, so Chargers, I thought the Chargers would for sure get second in that division. Then after breaking down their schedule a little bit,
What? You think they're not going to finish second?
I'm not so confident. No.
Who is it? Denver?
No.
No, come on.
I'm biased.
No, you're not. You're picking the Raiders to finish
I
second?
think the Raiders, after breaking down the schedule, I thought the Raiders' ceiling was 9-7. I mean 9-6.
Dude,
No,
I
9-7.
think
now their ceiling's 10-6.
I think their ceiling's 5-11.
Well, okay, let's start with the Chargers.
We talked about this 2 weeks ago.
I know, and I've changed.
They don't play a home game for like 7 weeks.
But I think despite that, then we've got a period where we can do okay. Okay, we'll start the Raiders 10-6. So we're gonna beat Denver, and then we're gonna lose a few games. We're gonna lose KC and Minnesota. I initially had them losing to Indianapolis too, which would have given them a 5-game losing streak. Now, without Andrew Luck, I think that we have enough to beat the Colts. It can go either way, but I think we're going to pull out that win, especially considering last year we lost to them.
You have them beating Green Bay.
Yeah.
We'll see about that one.
Win
that
in Green Bay, and the only reason...
That podcast episode is going to be kind of tense if they win.
The reason I have them beating Green Bay is because it's after a bye week. So I think we get some nice time to prepare. We're going to regroup after getting demolished by the Bears in London, because I think we're going to get demolished. We suck in London, and we've got Khalil Mack over there. So, no. So I think we beat Green Bay. We lose to Houston. And then from there, winnable games. Detroit, LA Chargers, Cincinnati, New York Jets. And then this one's on, I'm not sure. KC.
Yeah, you got them winning at KC.
Because we have to win in KC. Tennessee, Jacksonville win, and then we lose out the season with Chargers and Broncos. I don't know. I think at worst we can go 7-9 or 6-10, but I think 6-10 is our floor, 10-6 is our ceiling, and of course, as an optimist, I have to say 10-6. And second place, which might be good enough for a wild card.
I like your optimism.
Okay. Oh wait! I got to draft somebody right now. All right, D.D. Westbrook. I'm thinking I'm going to take him. Oh, what the heck?
Our host is asleep.
Ooh, DK Metcalf. James White. I can probably get D.D. Westbrook next round. Oh, I got 17 seconds. Should I grab DK Metcalf now or T.J. Hawkinson?
Our host has fallen asleep behind the camera.
All right, I'm going to take Metcalf. Screw it.
Are you tired, Daniel?
Yeah.
I'm good. We're good.
We're good. Okay, so then Denver.
I don't think we ever gave Daniel a proper welcome in. Daniel's also behind the camera again this week.
Yep. He's chilling. He's there chilling.
I'm awake.
Yeah. You should have hung out with my fiance and their friends. They went hard last night as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it went into today. Nice. Okay, so Denver, I don't think they're going to be bad either. I have them 7-9.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
The weird wins for them, I think they're going to beat Chicago at home. I think, what's some other wins? They're going to split KC. They're going to beat Buffalo. They're going to beat Detroit. Why do I have... Oh, I wrote something down wrong here. I have W at Denver in Week 12. I know that's not correct because they are Denver. So, okay. That's all of my predictions. What do you got for your last one?
NFC West. I think we all know, or everybody is on the same page, that the Rams are going to win it again. I got them going 12-4.
Yeah, Rams.
I have them and the Saints being the two best teams in the NFC this year again. Probably a NFC Championship matchup again, but who knows? Anything could happen.
Right.
Bears could be there.
Oh, somebody took him. Where am I? Okay, I could agree with that. What about
secondary? Seahawks. Gotta be the Seahawks. And in the toilet bowl for the division is gonna be the Cardinals and the 49ers. Cardinals I have at 4-12, which again I think is pretty generous.
Even generous,
That's pretty generous, but I didn't want to say 3-13 because I didn't have any teams on my list make 3-13. So
yeah,
I didn't want the Cardinals to be all alone, but realistically they could be 2-14.
They could, yeah. I mean, really, their only good player right now is
David Johnson.
I mean, even Patrick Peterson suspended for the first 6 games of the season, I think.
He's one cornerback and is their punt returner, right? Does he return their punts still?
Does he still return punts?
I don't know.
Maybe he might. It's gonna be tough for them for sure.
49ers, like I was saying earlier, I'm not high on Jimmy Garoppolo. I think everybody's gonna see it this year. I could be wrong. I've
Yeah.
been wrong before. I'll be wrong again.
Yeah. What's their record? The same?
The Cardinals,
No, 49ers.
5-11.
5-11. Yeah, I think that's realistic.
I think that's a good I think that's a good ceiling for them.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if they won 7 games. I would not be shocked if they won 4 games.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we're going to revisit these predictions after week 4 and see where we're at, see if we're going to make any changes or anything. So we also, last weekend, we were going to record a podcast, but it took too long afterwards. But we had our fantasy football draft.
That thing took forever. It was like 2 hours. And
Yeah.
I had left before we even finished.
Yeah, you had to leave. I think we auto-drafted your last 2 picks?
4 picks.
4?
Yeah.
Your last 4?
Yeah, because Geronimo Allison was the first non-player that I
wow.
drafted on that list.
Yeah, that's interesting. I had the first overall pick, which was interesting for me. I've never had the first overall before, so it was my first time.
This year would have been the first year I wouldn't have minded having the first pick. I usually don't like having the first pick. In my other league last year, I had the first pick, and the year before in that same league, I had the first pick, and I did not win either time. I took 4th place both times. But those years, yeah, last year and the year before, I did not want the first pick. Was very unfortunate that I had it.
Right.
Was fortunate to take 4th place.
Yeah, usually
2 years ago, my team was bad.
It's so hard to choose who you want that first pick, but this year Saquon Barkley is the 1.1. I mean, I feel good about that, you know.
I personally would have taken Kamara, but I mean,
Right.
Barkley,
any of those
Barkley's
top 3,
I would have
taken.
taken. I would have taken Kamara just because Barkley is the only person that's going to do anything on the Giants, and if a defense wraps their head around how to stop him,
Yeah. I don't know, man. Just because you want to stop him, I mean, he's a beast.
now
He's
that
tough.
does not mean that you are going to stop him. You are right, but I just think that Kamara has a better chance of putting up bigger numbers because Drew Brees can spread the ball around, and he has Michael Thomas.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kamara, now his role should increase. I mean, they did get Latavius Murray, who will slide into Mark Ingram's role, but I don't think quite as much. I mean, he's
No.
not quite as skilled, you know?
Sean Payton does like using that running back by committee thing, though.
Yeah. Oh, man. Kyler Murray's staring at me with this pick right now. I don't really like
I had the
anything
9th
else.
pick in our draft, though, and I feel like I kind of reached, but I don't know. I had the 9th pick out of 10. I drafted Tyreek Hill first, and then I got Le'Veon Bell on the snake back.
That's not bad.
The guys that I wanted, though, were getting
You
swooped
got
up,
Tyreek
though.
Hill first, didn't you?
Yeah,
And then who? Your next one was
Le'Veon Bell.
Oh yeah, and that's pretty good. Le'Veon Bell goes in the first in a lot of
The guy that
rounds.
drafted after me could have taken either one of those two guys. Who did he take? I don't even remember. Did you take a picture of the draft board?
Yeah, let me see. I do have it. Yeah, because he was 10th. He got a.
What did he draft immediately after I did?
Let's see. Let's have a look. If this ever loads. Dun 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 dun. All right, so taking a look at this. So after you took Tyreek, he took Julio Jones and then James Conner.
If I would have had a chance, I would have taken Julio Jones. I would have taken 2 wide receivers back to back.
Yeah, I like taking running back back to back.
Which pick are you most excited for? Like
Which
that you
pick?
felt was a good bang for your buck at the position that you took
You know,
him?
I think I like David Montgomery. I grabbed him 4 in the 6th round. And so to me, I mean, they're really high on David Montgomery. I mean, he could be a top back. I mean, I think he's going to eat into Tariq Cohen's role. So I really like that pick. Of course, I also like Antonio Brown, though I did take him at the end of the 2nd. So a little bit of a reach, but I do think Brown's still going to be a top 5 receiver.
You could kind of spin that any way you want because
Yeah.
since you were the first pick, you got the second.
Yeah, it could be the first
pick.
of the
You have the
third.
last pick of the 2nd round or the first pick of the 3rd round.
Yeah, so I basically took Antonio Brown and Devontae Freeman there. So that's the Freeman one I'm a little bit scared of, to be honest.
He's another guy, too, that I'm not really that high on ever. It's one of those guys that I don't really like drafting.
Yeah, I've never liked drafting him when he was going in the 1st. Now, give me him in the 3rd all day because that's where I like him. And the funny thing about that was I was debating between him and Aaron Jones to take. And then, interestingly enough...
Didn't you still get Aaron Jones anyway?
I still got Aaron Jones.
In
Yeah,
the
so it
4th?
still came back to me.
You drafted him on your next snake
Yeah.
round on the 4th and 5th?
Which was nice, yeah. So I will take that. So that was pretty cool. I was pretty stoked about that. What are your picks? That you
I
like?
think the pick that I'm most excited for that has the most low risk, high reward is Melvin Gordon in the 8th.
Yeah.
I was really excited. I was thinking it might have been too early, but if he comes back and ends up playing if he plays over 7 weeks,
Right.
I feel like my lineup's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like having him anchor that in there.
Yeah, because, I think no matter what, the worst case scenario, he comes back week 10, which is going to give him for the playoffs.
Who are your wide receivers?
Wide receivers, I have...
Oh, look at that. Chargers suspend contract talks with Melvin Gordon until after the season.
So he has to come back. I think he's going to come back sooner rather than later now. They just said, no, you're done. Okay, wide receiver, Keenan Allen, T.Y. Hilton, Cortland Sutton.
In the NFL, do they not get paid if they don't play?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't play, so he's losing.
A lot of money.
Yeah. Kind of like Michael Gallup right now. I think I'm
Dude.
gonna grab him.
Could they drop the franchise tag on him?
No, because he's not even. He still has 2 years on his contract.
When can you drop the franchise tag
It
on
has to
somebody?
be at the end. Like you play out your contract, and instead of letting them be a free agent, then they drop the franchise tag on him.
And then that means that somebody has to give them more than what they're worth, right? If they want to trade for him.
That franchise tag, yeah. Which in the franchise tag
Is
pays
it all
you,
based
like,
on how
top
much
of the
that
position.
current player's value is?
It's based on the top players at the position. So I think they make like.
But the Chargers would have to pay him as like a top running back, though, right?
Yep. Okay, guys. Well, thank you guys for tuning in for week 2 or episode 2 of Last Word on Sports. So check us out. We are on Spotify now if you want to just get some audio of this. Of course, we're still on lastwordonsports.com. Thank you to Last Word on Sports for the platform, YouTube, all of that good stuff. You could find me on Twitter at Ryan World Eater. I don't know if you have a Twitter yet.
I don't have a Twitter.
No,
I've had a Twitter for like 8 years, and I've used it once.
Yeah.
It was my first initial tweet, and I've never used it since.
Yeah. So we're all super excited about week 1 of the season coming. You get to see your team play Thursday very soon.
Green Bay's opening the season. I'm excited. My friends, they're Brooke and Sawyer. They're married. They're hosting the opening game party at their place.
Nice.
I'm going to be wearing my Aaron Rodgers jersey, drinking some beers, getting rowdy.
Yeah. And so my team ends the week. I'm pretty sure we're the second game of Monday. So we're the last game of the week. We play Monday night against the Broncos. So
funny how that works.
Yeah, you started off, we ended, and hopefully we both get some W's out there.
And then after this, we're going to be recording every single Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll be recording Sunday night during the Sunday night football game, which I believe is that the Steelers-Patriots week 1 maybe?
That'd be a fun game to put on.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. We'll be checking that out. So be sure to share with all your friends and all that good stuff. See you guys next time.
See ya.